No, these spinning kicks I'm going like this. I don't feel nothing. Okay. Points kinds. Yeah, I'm like. So, and it's in Black Belt magazine. This article that I think I sent it to you.
Okay. I gotta go look for him.
Go look for it because it's in Black Belt magazine. The guy comes in, shows his spinning kicks. I caught him with on straight right, and he would buckle. And he was on the ropes, and I started kneeing him. I stopped. I looked. The guy's knocked out. I told the referee, George Iverson, who was a referee at that time. He just passed away. He's a 12th degree black belt in Kempo, Kaji Kempo, whatever. I go like this. He go like this. Oh, so I started working no more. Then he seen the guy just slump over, stop the fight, raise my hand. So when the fight was over, I went up to the guy and said, you know what, before the fight, don't you ever fucking back up to it. Act stupid like that. See what happened to you. Just like that. He looked at me. Then you know.
Learn his lesson.
Yeah. But that was my introduction to any type of fighting. Because in those days they had this stuff called Tommy Lee series of martial arts. There would be guys from China fight guys from Korea, Thailand, Japan, all over the world to see who's the best. And my instructor, Dana Goodson, fought Benny the Jet. All weights, no matter what. And Benny beat Dana. You know, an unreal bout. And if you look in the archives in Black Belt magazine, Karate Illustrated, you can find all these articles and stuff like that. Yeah, that was my first introduction to the, and I was called at that time the champion of that, because he had, like, you know, the UFC, you get the UFC, you get the WEC, you get all different organizations. I was the champion in that organization. It was funny because I never know what to expect. I never know what the guy. I thought the guy's gonna, you know. And he's from Chuck Norris's school, which is Tang Sudo, not Taekwondo. It was Tang Sudo. So I never know what Tang Sudo was. I thought it was like, you know, something for Ito. Yeah. I don't know. What's funny, man?
So did you go to the mainland too? Did they take you to the mainland to fight? Or?
No, and then after that, the Professional Karate Association. Dana hooked me up to fight. I don't know if you've ever heard of Sonny Chiba. He's a famous actor.
Yeah.
And he trained with Masoyama, the guy who killed the bull with one punch. Okay. And they set that match up, and I signed a contract to fight him. And it was all set. And you know, I was training hard 3 months prior to that fight. Then all of a sudden, the promoters backed up on that fight, brought their own guy from Japan, and he knocked the guy out. And they breached the contract, and I had a lawyer trying to go in, but that all fell through. But one of my biggest fights was it's called a Double Dynamite. That was in 1976 of August, and Benny the Jet was that main event. Teddy Limos, I don't know if you ever heard of him. Teddy Limos Sr. knocked out Joe Louis. At that time, Joe Louis was a heavyweight world full contact karate champion. He came to Hawaii and Teddy Limos knocked him out. For that particular fight, Teddy came back to the Big Island with me, and I trained with him. And he was an unreal boxer, but he didn't know how to kick. So we like, you know, he showed me the knockout power punches, and I'll train you in the kick. So we trained each other, and we trained for about 4 to 6 months. Came back to Oahu, and then I fought on that card. And that was for the middleweight title. The middleweight title at that time was 165. That's the knockoff. Anything over that, you know, you're over the weight limit. So it was different from MMA and the regular boxing and all that. And I won that fight. That was an unreal fight. And I had to wear these pants. And I'm like, and a belt, a black belt. And I'm like, why am I fighting with pants? And I asked them if I could wear my Thai kickboxing shorts, and they didn't want to let me. They said, no, this is full contact karate. You got to wear your red pants, and the other guy wears the black pants. And I'm like, I never trained like that. I never fought with pants in my life. But I did well.
Do what you gotta do.
Yeah. So then when I won the title, that was a prestigious title. That's like, for me, that's the most important fights. The rest was like mismatches. And I don't like talking about mismatches.
Sure.
Like guys fighting that they have no hands, with their hands down, and I'm like, and I tell Dana, this guy don't know how to fight, man. Look how you know,
Quick work of that.
in those days, kickboxing never come out yet. It was called full contact karate, and they were just learning about this kickboxing. It was in the infancy stage, and it just came out to what it is, kickboxing, and then Muay Thai, because they didn't allow Muay Thai because the elbows and the knees was too brutal, and you couldn't buy insurance for that. So after winning those two, major titles for me, I retired in '77. I came back to Hilo. And then what I did is I trained guys like Nathan Matos, who was a Golden Gloves boxing champion, runner-up at the Golden Gloves. This was during the 80s. Late 70s. So I've trained generations from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000. That's how many years I've been training people. And every year I get, maybe like that year was the guy Brent Rodriguez. I sent you the information on that kid.
Sure which one
He went on to win the Nationals. Brent Rodriguez is in 2002 was, because right after that fight, I started training BJ and focused all my attention on training BJ and his fighters. So I stopped the boxing trip and all that. That's why Arden kept going and trained guys for me in boxing and kickboxing.
Well, an Arden said, I guess he's gonna see you tomorrow. Huh?
Yeah, go talk to him. But as for what I did, that was the two major turning points in my life. And then the money wasn't there. I'd make $1,200 a fight, which is, you can survive on that. I was working on service station, on Arvell service station right next to the airport, pumping gas during the day, training, and then fighting. So, you couldn't survive. And at that time, I had a kid, and my wife was hassling me. And I just stopped, came back to the Big Island and trained people. And that's all I've been doing from day one. I just cold turkey, stopped it, and just doing what I'm doing right now.
You said last time you mentioned that toll it takes on your body too. Are you smart enough to get out?
Oh yeah.
Pretty quick.
You can see, kickboxing, if they kick in your legs, knee you, and all it gets, it takes a toll. But if you're walking out of there, you win, but you got more bus up, Then you can go work 2-3 days, you need more money, Yeah, that's how it was in those days. It was hard, man. I remember guys like Victor Raposa, who was a fireman in Waianae, fighting, they go back to his job. Everybody had to work. It was like nobody was full-time fighting because nobody could afford it at that time. If you had kids, you had family, you had your own house, can afford. Many guys was part-time fighters.
How about nowadays, as far as fighting?
Nowadays, everybody's part-time fighters too. Look, Ron June. You know how many kids he gets? He worked, I forgot what he does, but I know he works a hard job.
Construction. You're foreman now, yeah?
Yeah, but before, he was in the freaking trenches, cracking his ass. Come train. It was hard for him. Like Ross Ebenez. What does he do? He goes outside and all the guardrails. They dig out the guardrails and dig all day long. Then he come train. Mike Aina, he works up Mauna Kea of the observatory on the 1,400-foot level. He comes down all dizzy, Shane Nelson, he's a carpenter, All the guys that I've been training, all except for BJ. BJ is the only one in anywhere because the family rich. They get money. All the rest, feel sorry for them.
And BJ could live off his earnings?
He lives off his earnings right now.
Yeah, okay.
The parents are millionaires. You don't need to worry. Not like the regular Joes coming up on the street trying to make a living out of this. You gotta be full time. And who gonna sponsor you? Who gonna give you $2,000 a month for survive for your children? And nobody. So who is really a professional fighter in Hawaii? That's a good question. Who can? BJ because their family get money. Who else in Hawaii?
Kendall Grove?
Kendall Grove because he gets sponsors. He get Team Punishment, sponsor him. You see, a lot of the smart fighters, like Uriah Faber, Joe Lozon, they don't work. They get guys giving them, here, 2,000 for this, tap out, and I give you this. 1,000 here, 500 here, That's why on the back of the shirt,